for our generation gap week that we handle. So before I ask you guys if you have any doubts, any questions, let us quickly have the recap of what are the pointers that we had discussed. So Mac, can you please quickly go through the pointers? So the first thing we spoke about is expectations. Our expectations do not match reality. And when I say expectations, what it means is if you expect your children to be polite, or you expect your parents to speak to you in a particular way, our definition of receiving, our definition of being polite is as per our definition and not as per their definition. And this is one of the root cause of where we feel we are not gelling with each other. Yeah, let's quickly go to the second point. Language of communication. I think we spoke about it for 2 days. How you communicate. It's not just the verbal language, because there is only a very small part of us which depends on the verbal communication. To just for all of you to remember that it is your body language which impacts a lot. When a child is small, or even as an adult, when a father enters with that look, it doesn't say I'm angry at you, but they act in a way where you feel very pathetic and you feel fearful. So only 7% is the verbal communication and 93% is non-verbal. To have a check on what is that 93% of non-verbal communication which is happening in the house. The second thing which I had mentioned and I had really focused a lot on, even in your verbal communication, it's not the language, it is the tone with which you speak. And then if you complain that, I said like, sorry, I said, but how you say sorry or how you say thank you or how you communicate with what tone, that defines a lot. Saying like, sorry is not sorry. So do not play games with yourself and rather accept the reality. Coming to the third point, what they say and what they do doesn't match. I say, I want you to be independent. And then I do everything for them, is my actions does not match the message that I convey to them. So wherever you are doing that aspect into your life, just identify where are you doing that with your parents or where are you doing that with your children. The fourth point. I have changed the slide. So the karmic part, their soul have chosen or your soul have chosen to be karmically entangled with them, so that it gives you an opportunity to finish the karmic imbalances. If you all remember the day one when I had started, I had asked with your parents how karmic you feel that relationship is. So if you are here to give and receive in a particular way, because in another reality, probably you did not finish. That is why it continues in a way where it is not very harmonious. The second reason in the karmic can be because they are here to teach you a lesson, or you have chosen to teach them a lesson which both of you are not realizing. Yeah. Next slide. Inner child, again, like one entire day. It's a little technical concept, but when you were young, how you were being treated, a part of your energy is not with your own self. And that energy is constantly playing there. One simple example, if I have to give, many parents who are not educated themselves, they want their children to achieve or to have certain degrees. So basically, it is your unfulfillment. It's unfulfilled part in you, which is constantly looking for fulfillment through their children. And that does not happen. The other part is your child with whom you feel, or your parents that where you feel they do not listen to you. Probably it is their inner child which is talking to you in a form of being a rebellious, in a form of passive aggressive behavior. And that's why, till the time you do not go back to that inner child and heal it, the problem continues. Yeah, the next slide. We do not realize that they are different souls with their individual agendas. They are not us. We want them to be us. We want everyone around us to be us. And honestly speaking, if we have to spend time with ourselves, we are very confused if I tell all of you that now next 7 days, you stay alone with your own self. How happy you will be, because people who are giving you problem will not be there. You stay alone without TV, without newspaper, without your mobile, without your laptop, without your iPad. We want to superimpose our thought process on people, but not realizing they're different souls. They are not us, and they have their own life purpose, individual agendas. We cannot superimpose. Rather, if we focus on our own self, where we start enjoying with our own selves, what are our expectations with our own selves, where are we improving? Probably our communication, the gap that we want to bridge becomes easier. I guess this was the last point. So coming to the question answers, and apart from that, we understood a lot about the entire scenario between two generations. So now, please come on the platform, ask questions that you have so that we all have better clarity about it. So during the week, a lot of you had questions. Now, any questions that you have, you can please ask me now. Yeah, so Geeta Sachindran, may I please unmute her?
Yeah, I had told you that there are some problems with me and my daughter. I have started my healing process. How do I involve her in this?
No, you do not involve her till she doesn't ask for it. The thing is that we all carry a particular vibration. How we speak, what we do, creates vibrations and the frequency that reaches to them, irrespective of whether they are staying with you or they are staying very far. So the minute I change my frequency, my vibrations, it automatically reaches to them. And that is the frequency we start attracting, and it starts coming back. And they automatically get involved and they are part of it. They're genetically connected to you. And that's why many times, as a mother, the mother just feels if the child is in a problem, she just feels there is something wrong with my child. There's something, this person needs me. The person might be sitting like thousands of miles away from you. What is happening there is your frequency is always connected. Especially, Geeta, the mother and the child are connected with the umbilical cord. In Theta healing, like when we do the scan of a person, probably you get to see how many lifetimes and how many children they have ever produced, because the umbilical cord is connected with so many. You may have one child or you may not have any, but it is showing across time and space, because majority time, mother never disconnects. Physically, when a child is born, we disconnect or that umbilical cord, but energetic umbilical cord never gets disconnected. So that's why we normally even tell people, like when they start their journey of healing themselves, they are not only healing themselves, they are healing their children, they are healing their parents also. Because you are connected to your parents, your children are connected to you. There are times, I mean, I would just like to share here. I still remember, like, me and my daughter Richa, since you all know Richa and she is also in the same field. We both had gone to INA's institute for our higher levels and our teachers' training. And there was one teachers' training class where there were only 5 beliefs we had to work on for 2 entire days. And we all were wondering, like, 5 beliefs? How is it possible that, there are 400, 500 people, everybody will have that one belief to work on? So in the Theta Healing class, you do muscle test and you identify the subconscious beliefs. So in the higher levels, we give the set of beliefs that this problem surfaces from this set of beliefs. So please go deeper through your digging process and a lot of other processes which are being taught to you and clear them. And every problem that I spoke about, and I was also shocked myself when, you work with somebody else, was never my problem. Like I said, yeah, I don't have any of these problems, but yeah, my mother has, my father has. I don't have, my mother has, my father has. So would you like to resolve that from your mother or father? Yes. And every problem that Richa independently, like I don't even know where she's sitting, working on, she also had the same thing. I don't have this problem, but probably my mother has and my father has. And this was everybody in the class had the same experience. So probably we all were clearing the beliefs we were holding from our parents and how it was impacting indirectly to us. And post 2 days when we had cleared, like we were so light. And I'm sure it definitely has and would have changed things in my parents. Whatever releases Richa would have done would have helped me. Whatever releases I did would have helped my parents. So whatever you are doing, you do not consciously need to tell her. Let her, when people notice changes, they ask, what do you do? Can you help me with the same? Wait for that time. And if it doesn't come, know that when you are healing, you are getting healed. When you are that aligned energy, they are automatically healed. Is that making sense to you, Gita?
Yeah, it made sense to me. I also want to ask another thing. Is there, somebody was saying it could also be entity encroachment? Is that a possibility?
That is a possibility. Like there are wavewords, or in Theta language, we call them wavewords. You normally find them in your auric space. We call them fallens, which are like little more difficult entities and all. But the question is not how many entities are there. The question is, where is your point of vulnerability? Where are you being vulnerable to them? Because if I put all the sweets in my living room, and then there are a lot of ants which come, and then I pick up one ant every day, and then I ask that why are there so many ants? So I need to identify where is that root cause, where is the sugar. And that is what, so we do teach how to clear these entities from the body. But at the same time, when the healing sessions unfold, our focus is more on what belief of your vibration is matching with them. For example, if I feel unloved, I'm the right person to attract that energy which feels unloved. So I need to change my frequency. It's like I cannot wire something where it does not match. If I buy a product from US, I will not be able to use them here. It will burst. Somebody else's charger will not go in my laptop, my mobile. So identify what are you plugged into. The minute you clear that, they cannot remain with you. But till then, trust me, unconditional love energy, which is very powerful to clear the energy. Not denying the fact that this doesn't, and it is very painful for the family to witness that and to go through that. And the only thing the family can do is to raise their own frequency, to empower themselves where they can clear that energy field and work with it. There are simpler things also where people like everyday evening they light kapoor, camphor, and there are many other things also. But your point of vulnerability has to be addressed. I cannot say that there is a tumor in the body and you are not addressing the tumor, why it happened. You remain, you have asthma and you are next to a factory, which is the root cause, and you stay there and then constantly say, but why do I have asthma? It is the same thing. Yeah. And it's just one thing, today, if you have to take away one thing, Geeta, just know and speak to your problems. That, if the problems think they're very strong, your God is much more stronger than any of your problem put together. Divine is much more stronger than any of them. So when you are connected to the divine, you surrender it to the divine. In your prayers, you are like, I hand over that for transformation. Let the transformation happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Geeta. Yeah, Dhruv, can we please unmute you?
Hello.
I guess Anup, but I think your laptop is under the name of Dhruv. Hi, good morning, Anup.
Good morning. Madam, actually, there is a confusion right now that my son wants to choose a subject. Now, he is very bad at maths and he has taken science. Actually, we don't have any problem in his choosing the subject, but he is not going ahead with it. So that's the problem.
Yeah. So the general understanding is your point is correct if he is not good with maths, because which means he is not very good with logic and calculations. So maths and science are the subjects that we are the good, very good. So they are more like left brain operating people who do really good in that. At the same time, like people who are very good with languages, they are basically right brain operating. They are more creative. So ideally, that field works out better for them. So number one, like you have to first understand, like, is he very good in languages and all or not? Because then he's a right brain operating person. If he is not, number one, like forget whether what he is good with it or not. You understand your son's capabilities, like what is his natural skill set, and if you will be like more logical about it while communicating to him, in that case probably he will be more open to listen to you. The second thing, if he still doesn't listen, ideally you just tell him that I completely trust your judgment. I'm investing a lot of money into your education, so if you are choosing that, that is what it is. After that, if you choose, I still give you like few months to go through it, but after that, if you choose, it's your responsibility, it's not mine. And there are many people in the world who take, like abroad, every student take their own loan and then they go on paying. There are many of them who work and then they study together. So then it is his responsibility, and probably, like, when people feel that it is their responsibility, they become very responsible to take onus of it, and they change, because each one has, like, you do have a right brain and a left brain, a logical and a creative side. It is the one which you are choosing to sharpen up. But the sense of every action that I take is my responsibility, and I'm answerable and I'm accountable to my parents, has to be conveyed in a very gentle and a nice way by parents to the children, rather than parents thinking my children are my responsibility. You do whatever, this is my hard earned money, like, you go, if you like it, it's okay, if you don't like it, then don't spend. That does not work, and that has to be, that message has to be passed on, not just for education but in every action. I mean, a simple example, Anup, like, when my kids were young, and I still remember, we had gone to Ambassador Hotel, like, I mean, like, when you take them to a 5-star and they were ordering something, and I was like, it is absolutely fine to order. But after the food comes, you cannot say, now I don't want to have that. And, like, it is okay. Like, so much of food goes waste in the wedding. So much of this happens. It's not. Or even the simple dabbas or the tiffin that you give it to them in the school. You cannot say, yeah, so I mean, I did not eat it, so I give it to the beggar. You want to give it to the beggar? You make the fresh one and give it to them. So don't give me that argument. Though the message was being conveyed in a very gentle, loving way to them, but they from that time understood the value of money. So you spend money, there is no for that. Like, it is not that everything was also being, so there were like many small actions. If I wanted to stop them from having in the school those 2 rupees Pepsi, like Pepsi Cola, like, in the plastic, I do not even know what is it called. So I told them, like, whatever money you save will be yours. If 2 rupees you want to spend, it is fine. But you will be given this 100 rupees a month. Like, and it was actually only 100 rupees a month. And, like, from there, then I will not question you what you want to buy, what you want to do. So they were at the age, they were very excited to know that, oh, I have my 100 rupees of my own. So rather than having it 5 days a week, that Pepsi, they were like, once in a month or twice in a month, and they were very happy to have that. So, like, how you communicate to them is, like, you need to learn that art, what works with them. Now he's grown up, so you require to see, like, what majority time when they are grown up, it has to be a very sound logical argument. All these things which I said works when they are very young. It will not work with my grown-up children. With my grown-up children, it will be something which has to be very sound, very logical, where you are the authority and they want to listen to you.
Right. Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you. Yeah, Jyoti. Yeah, please unmute, Jyoti.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, good
I
morning.
wanted to know how can we help our children, if they're not focused. Like my son doesn't know what he wants to do. I think since 2 years he's quit his job, and I don't know how, he doesn't like even be asking or talking to him regarding anything.
How old is he since he quit?
He's 24, 25.
Okay. So many times, at this junction, many children are like, it's not unfocused, they are very unclear about what they really want to do. And because probably, many of them are still influenced by, there can be inferiority complex. There can be like, my this friend has done this well and I am unable to, or my this friend was being supported by this. So number one is there has to be goal, forget what they want to do and whether it is a job or a business, but a goal of understanding that it is their responsibility now to get to a point that because if they do not have any responsibility of running the house or uh, their own expenses and all, so probably like you as parents can sit and say that if you are getting stuck and you think we can help you anywhere, so either there are like a lot of counselors, a lot of people who can also help them with the
We've
different
tried everything.
so like where is it heading?
Nowhere. I don't see it.
So
But
what
he
does he
says
do?
now he doesn't want to talk to us regarding this. Whenever
Yes,
we
so
ask him for, if you need any help, something that we can do for you, but he's not clear. He just doesn't want to share anything with us. He said, he keeps saying, I'm doing something, I'm working on it, I'm working, but he doesn't want to talk anything further.
okay, so probably his energies are like now shut and closed, and he himself is going through a lot of pain because he's unable to do it. And he's unable to crack what he really wants, and he's unable to crack that, everybody else by this age is doing it. I have not scanned him, like without his permission, I would not even scan him. But majority time, if this is what has happened in such cases, giving them a time frame that during this time, like you do what you want to do, but just like uh, we are giving you the free hand, we trust you, like that feeling of that we trust you has to be conveyed, like very
Done.
well to them, like that. Did you do that?
Yes.
No, I'm sure it has not been conveyed. If it was being conveyed, Jyoti, you would not have said he is not focused.
No, that is what he said, that I still don't know what I want. Actually, my daughter is doing very well in her work. She's 4
That's
years
why,
older.
that
Yeah,
is
so we
why
said,
I
if you
said
want, take help.
inferiority.
But we
No,
never compare. No, we don't do this
no, you don't
comparison.
compare, but it happens subconsciously with them because they also want to reach to a particular place, but both of them are very different.
Yeah.
And like one always knew this is what I want to do, and like keep focusing, and by
Yeah.
God's grace succeeded in that. But the
Yes.
other started with that burden of wanting to be there. So the minute, till the time he will not deburden himself, that is where somewhere he will not be able to identify his own potential. Because if I start only with the burden of that, this is where I want to reach, but everything takes time. I cannot say that today I learned theta healing and tomorrow I have 1 million clients with whom I've worked. So people just see the people who are successful, what they are doing. What they don't see is the years of efforts that they have put in with that. I think he just requires that need to deburden and requires that. Probably you can speak to him and like not that you should, but like how about like seeing it from other perspective, and like a session may even help him. But there are many times children come to us, and I mean I personally have worked on the students, before exams and even afterwards, where they have got the admission, walk-in admission with MIT, like Boston, which, the a very reputed school, and school refused. They said, like, don't even fill up your form there because they do not give any scholarship to undergrads. And when, she was my client, and I said, you will be applying to like minimum 14 universities, including US and UK. And for sure, like, putting in that one, what is your dream university? And she said, Auntie, my dream university is to get into MIT with scholarship. I don't want to pay money. And the counselors have said that, it is impossible because till now they have not given anyone in the undergrad. I said, it is okay. You do that. Or I was working with somebody who was little grown up an architect and said, UK, this is the best university for architecture. And I want my admission here. I said, okay, let's work. I'd worked with a gynac whose admissions were already being rejected. And then she had applied to Harvard and Cornell, Harvard, I think, NYU and all. She used to come for stammering. And one fine day, she just, burst and like she started crying. And she said, like, you always told me mind and body are connected. Like, I helped people to write their exams. They got their admissions there, by the weekend, they all are going and I haven't heard from them. So how is it working? And I said, like, today's session, let's work on your admission. And by evening, actually, she had a letter. Like, we first identified which university will work for her soul's growth with her life agenda. And then 2 were showing good. Then I asked her, which one would you like to focus on? And she said, like, since Cornell is showing for my best. I think it was Cornell or Howard, I forgot it. We worked, and by evening, when she reached home, the letter was there. So there are many such situations where, I have seen people getting it. And they start developing clarity during the session. What is it that who they are, what are their potential, what is their ultimate goal? I'm not talking about whether doing a particular job or a business, like what will it give to you? Like, for example, my own daughter came for a session, like, she passed out from UC Berkeley as a neuroscientist. She worked with different labs, like, working with how the child's neurotransmitter functions. For the marketing field, how the new was neuromarketing and Alzheimer and all. And that point of time, like when she came to India, we did a session on that. And then she chose the field. So she worked with the best lab for Alzheimer research work for 2 years. And then after that, now she's pursuing her PhD with neuroscience, like cardiovascular with sleep patterns. But at that point of time, like every time when she had to choose, even for the PhD, she called back, we took session. Like, what is the connection with the higher self? Like, what would ideally, it shouldn't be just driven by, it's not money driven or name, fame, recognition driven. So there are many other aspects that are there, and then to make that journey very easy. Many of them even call up by before taking their subjects. And like, I normally tell them, you understand, I don't understand ABCD of your subject, what you are asking. But from there, it happens very beautifully. So you can probably recommend him because I somehow sense a very grounded energy with your son. It is not, but like, he is genuinely like not clear about it. It's not, I would not use the word not focused, but unclear.
Yeah, true.
And
But
as
to convince,
the pressure starts piling up, it's in the mass consciousness. It is there in the parents. They start worrying, even if they keep quiet, it shows in their body language. Like, even when they are having food together, ye kya kar raha hai?
Yeah, that's true. Now it's building up, like, everybody's feeling at home, like my husband and everyone. But initially, when he quit the job, we gave him 1 good year decide. Nobody was telling him anything. Now it's 2 years complete. Now it's started working on everybody's mind. So, now is that worry, and they want to tell him, what is this? You're wasting
Don't worry,
time.
he will do well. And probably it's unclear because today's generation is not same as our time generation. It is not our time generation, like, did not open up a lot of possibilities. And today's generation is more content. Like, money is not something which they would say equivalent to success. And that doesn't, there is the work-life balance is one of the priority. Like, they want to be in the field where they are happy with it. And in a way, I feel it is a very good thing. So he's little unclear about it. And whatever might be blocking can be cleared through the B releases, can be cleared through the downloads, and programmed with the meditations and all. Like you can ask if he really he resonates.
I wish he would, because he doesn't
It's
like
okay. If he
whatever I
doesn't, then
do.
it is his journey. Then do not even feel bad about it. Then it's his
I wish
journey.
he can get convinced with all this, can
You do
help.
not need to convince him, your love is enough. But this is what I feel. If you think, that, yeah, that would give me happiness, then, you can go ahead. You can speak to the therapist. And then if you get convinced, then you take it. But if you are not, it is quite okay.
No, I'm convinced. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no,
to
no, no.
convince.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you are convinced. This is how you convey the message.
Message to them.
It should
Okay.
not be superimposed on them. Yeah, so Naya has written, same situation with my son who is 27.
Yeah.
I feel is trying
As I feel the generation gap. So whatever we say, they just feel ki we don't know anything and they know everything. That's a generation gap. They just don't want to listen to what we say.
So that's a very subtle energy which goes between parents and children. And unless and until one party does not establish the authority, the saga continues. And while establishing authority, like for example, if your son is 27, Anna, then there has to be a way where you stop taking their responsibility. You find your way out. So it differs from at what age and at what time frame they are going. And this entire thing begins much before. There has to be that thing in them that it is my responsibility to do certain things. And why do then parents accept the fact that you know it all? If you know it all, yeah, please go ahead and do it. Then, you know it all, it is your job to look after the even household work, because everything takes a lot of time and efforts. What food is being served, there is a lot of preparation, even if you have a cook, whether the groceries have come or not, this has happened or not. Till the time we entertain a lot of things, the last minute demands that, you have made roti sabji, I want to have pastas. Doesn't matter, for you, it is just ordering the cook, make pastas. But why? So there are very many underlying things which needs to be changed by parents as well. Is that making sense to you? Because that was the third point. No, what you say and what you do are two such different things. How you communicate, you say we are not even asking him, but the look in our eyes when sit on the dining table is also like questions. Tum kya kar rahe ho?
No, not from my side.
No, Jyoti, it does happen. It does happen. And the parents start the conversation. I give you a free hand. I don't even ask you. Did I even ask you for last 6 months? But I need to know, what are you doing? वो एक statement में इतना frustration होता है. तो वो party में जाओ, everyone in the party will ask, हाँ, तो तुम क्या करते हो? What do you do? Oh, so they are they start avoiding social functions. So
that is another reason. Yeah, he avoids totally, the social gathering now.
Consciousness, it is so much, So, and then we say, no, the Vito don't even say that, We also pass on the message. Say, I'm not telling you or blaming you, but it is there, when the girl is at particular age, shadi ho gayi kya? Everybody will ask you only one question. If you're a little fat, I think you should exercise. They don't see you're fat, you should exercise. Boss, you do know what you're doing. There are no boundaries in India. What you speak, it's not you cannot ask someone. And if you ask, there has to be a gentle way, be kind. And parents also feel. So वो message जाता ही है. And like what Anahir said, like, you, like, how we do is like we convey the message that it is high time, you have to be responsible. But we continue supporting them and taking their responsibilities. Our actions are very different than what we speak or what we want. So now actually go through those pointers and you will realize which is the point you need to focus a lot. Listen to that. See what point registers to you. And like we are doing the workshop. So, oh my God, it's already 9:45. So friends, we are doing the workshop on, what are the dates, Mehak, we have decided? Can you just share? Because one sec. So the March 25th to 27th, the Generation Gap workshop we will be doing. It will be 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. in the night. It's a weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have taken it. So probably you just need to figure out if you want to go out for dinner, go out early that day. And there will be a lot of releases. The pricing will be around like 1550. So including GST, it will be 1800 for all 3 days. So for all of you who does not know, like normally when people come to me for sessions, my charges are 9,000 a session, like for 1 hour. I will be taking it personally for 6 hours and it's simply 1800. So do take advantage of it. This is especially I'm doing it because we have worked on the generation gap. SESTA normally does not have workshops at this price. We do not even promise you that this will be like next time, if at all we do it, it will be at this price. So if all of you who can make the best of it, please do grab the opportunity and do it. And because then like once you pay, you register, we will be sending you even the forms. We want to hear from you. Where exactly, so for example, Jyoti, Anna, like all of you, Geeta, the problems that you have asked, Anup, please do send it to us on email, but like not a big essay, but a pointers. Because in that case, because I'm doing the workshop specially for you guys, and like it is open to all the public, like it is not, but that time, like I would like to address all those things also. There are already like a lot of points, but I would like to address those points also, including what Geeta said, the energy, or like you said, my child is not taking responsibility, or they are like, unfocused or anything. So all those points also. There is a wedding in the family those days. Could we postpone? Jaisal, probably. It's like, see, right now, probably if these dates don't work for you, probably there is engagement in my own house in April. Then probably we are postponing it for a long time. But even then, what, like 3 days will you have the wedding functions happening? Because we have to like choose one day. Jaisal, I'll consider, I will channelize and I will see, because then the only other option is if majority people choose to do it on the weekdays, 8:30 to 10:30 p.m., then probably we can, instead of that, we take it from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I will not be postponing it till April. So like it can be 28, 29, 30th also, which ideally works like much better for me. Because in that case, because I am like, weekends is one time even you want. So we will just put an option on the group of like majority people who prefer 25th, 26th, 27th, or 28, 29, 30th. So based on that, what would be the majority today itself? You guys please write it and we will do it. So all the details of the thing, prices, everything will give you. And There will be like powerful meditations, there will be powerful releases which will unfold during that time. And as much as possible, send your problems also. We cannot take you back to that inner child, but inner child meditation would be there. Yeah, so I hope you all have understood that. Would it be in the day, in weekdays if possible? I think majority people are preferring weekdays. That sounds great for me and for you also. So we can do it during the weekdays. I'm choosing the time frame of 8:30 to 10:30. So if any one of you, like the other countries, like the US people, UK people, I think majority of them will find it comfortable. Only Southeast Asia, it might be the time which will be a problem. But then for Southeast Asia also, like you really want to do it like 3 days from 11 to 1, you can be awake. So the timing will be the same timing, and we will give you the option. Majority today itself, we will close it. Then we will do it on the weekdays. Yeah. So thank you all for joining, and looking forward for a lot of powerful releases. Looking forward for the next week. A wonderful week where we are learning making money is your topic. See you all. Have a great weekend and see you all on Monday. Thank you. Lots of